It's 2:14 in the morning, you're exhausted, your body wants sleep, and your eyes keep closing. But your brain has decided this is the perfect moment to remember that awkward thing you said 3 years ago. Then, it jumps to tomorrow's meeting, a text you haven't replied to, a future problem that doesn't even exist yet. And somehow, while lying completely still in bed, your mind feels like it's running a marathon. Your body isn't moving, but somewhere behind your eyes, you're already 5 conversations deep into a day that hasn't even started yet. Most people think overthinking is simply thinking too much. But if that were true, every scientist, writer, engineer, and philosopher would be miserable. The real problem isn't thinking. It's getting trapped inside thinking. You know the feeling. Someone sends a short text, just one word, and somehow your brain turns it into a full investigation. Are they upset? Did I say something wrong? Should I send another message? Would another message make it worse? 10 minutes later, you're still analyzing a conversation that lasted 3 seconds. And the strange part is that you know you're doing it. You know you're overthinking, yet somehow the thoughts keep coming anyway. Which raises an interesting question. If overthinking feels so exhausting, why does the brain keep doing it? Because your brain doesn't see overthinking as a problem. It sees it as protection. And here's something most people get backwards. Overthinkers aren't afraid of bad outcomes. They're afraid of being surprised by them. That's the part nobody talks about. It was never about avoiding pain. It's about never being caught off guard by it again. Think about the last time something actually hurt you. A breakup you didn't see coming. A piece of news that landed out of nowhere. Chances are, what stayed with you wasn't only the pain itself. It was the shock of not having seen it first. So the mind makes a quiet decision. Never again. If it can imagine every version of the worst, then nothing will ever blindside it like that. Most people assume overthinkers are weak, too emotional, too sensitive, too anxious, but nobody spends 20 minutes rewriting a text message because they enjoy suffering. Nobody lies awake replaying an embarrassing conversation because it's entertaining. Your brain genuinely believes it's helping. That's what makes overthinking so exhausting. The thing hurting you is often the same thing trying to protect you. Maybe you've experienced this. You're sitting in a completely safe room. Nothing bad is happening. Nobody is arguing. Nobody is judging you. And yet your mind keeps searching. Did I forget something? Did I upset someone? What if that decision was a mistake? It's almost as if your brain doesn't trust peace. The moment life becomes quiet, it starts looking for the next problem to solve. Not because something is wrong, because somewhere along the way, staying alert started feeling safer than relaxing. Imagine 2 things happen today. 9 people compliment you. 1 person gives you a strange look. Now guess which one follows you home. Suddenly, you're brushing your teeth thinking about it. You're making dinner thinking about it. You're trying to sleep thinking about it. The compliments disappear, but the threat stays. Your brain evolved to pay more attention to danger than comfort. Thousands of years ago, missing a threat could get you killed. Today, the threat is usually an awkward conversation from last Tuesday. But your nervous system doesn't always know the difference. That's why a 30-second interaction can become a 3-hour documentary inside your head. And then something strange happens. The more you think about something, the more important it feels. And the more important it feels, the more you think about it, until you're trapped inside a loop. But you're not actually going anywhere. The brain keeps reopening the same case because it believes the answer is hiding somewhere inside it. Sometimes there isn't a missing answer, only repetition. Overthinking isn't really a search for answers. It's an attempt to eliminate uncertainty completely. And uncertainty was never something you could think your way out of. Overthinkers are usually not careless people. They're observant, sensitive, and thoughtful. While everyone else moves on with their day, the overthinker's brain quietly opens another investigation. You'll spend an hour convincing your friend they're not a burden, that nobody hates them. Then, you'll go home and spend the next 4 hours wondering whether everybody secretly hates you. Somehow, the kindness you give others never gets applied to yourself. You'd never let a friend believe the worst about themselves for hours, but you'll let yourself sit there in that exact same chair, having that exact same trial, with nobody around to tell you to stop. Because overthinking creates a strange feeling. It feels productive, it feels responsible, it feels like you're preparing. Life gives them lemons. They've already spent 3 weeks researching lemonade recipes. It's the mind's way of carrying an umbrella before it rains. Not because it knows a storm is coming, because it wants to be ready if one arrives. And sometimes, this habit genuinely helps. When life becomes difficult, many overthinkers adapt surprisingly well because they've already mentally explored dozens of possible outcomes. But there is a cost. When your brain constantly prepares for storms, it becomes difficult to enjoy sunny days. You're reading tomorrow's script before today's scene has even started. Human beings hate uncertainty, so the mind creates backup plans. The illusion feels comforting, but thinking about every possible outcome doesn't create control. It creates the feeling of control, and those are not the same thing. You can map out every possible outcome of a conversation that hasn't happened yet and still feel your stomach drop the moment it actually starts. All that planning, and the body still reacts like nothing was rehearsed at all. For many people, this story began long before adulthood. Imagine a child lying in bed, completely still, listening for footsteps in the hallway, trying to read a mood through a closed door before anyone says a single word, learning to notice tiny changes in tone, tiny changes in expression, tiny changes in energy, because getting it wrong felt costly. So the child learns to stay alert, to think ahead, to prepare, to scan for problems before they arrive. That child wasn't weak. That child was paying attention to the only thing that actually mattered for survival in that house. The child needed that protection then, but the brain never got the message that the danger had passed. Looking for problems, looking for danger, looking for the next thing that might go wrong. Not because something is wrong right now, because somewhere along the way, the brain learned that relaxing felt risky. And if vigilance kept you safe once, why would the mind ever want to let it go? Years later, you're still preparing for storms that aren't coming. Not because you're irrational, because your brain learned a simple equation. Preparation equals safety. You're not overthinking. You're still trying to protect someone who doesn't need protecting anymore. Say that to yourself slowly, not as comfort, as fact. The mind is not your enemy. It's a protector that never realized its job was finished. You don't have to predict every outcome to survive it. You don't have to solve every future problem before it arrives. And you don't need certainty before taking the next step. If life has taught you anything, it's this. You've already survived situations you never thought you'd survive. You've already handled days you couldn't predict. You've already adapted to things you never saw coming. The proof that you'll be okay isn't hidden somewhere in the future. It's sitting in your past. You've done it before. And when the next difficult moment arrives, you'll figure that out too, just like you always have. Now, before you leave, think about this. How much of your life have you spent preparing for pain that never arrived? And if overthinking is really your mind trying to protect you, what is it still protecting you from? Let me know in the comments. Because sometimes overthinking isn't the real story. It's the scar left behind by something deeper. And if you've ever wondered what pain quietly changes inside a person long after the moment has passed, the next video might answer that question.